be on it. It's a big one first. You got one? All right. Double coming in the boat. What do you got? Nothing.
Yeah. I lost it.
You got this other line.
Got this other line?
Yeah. You got this other line. He drove right in. He must have swam right into the other line.
Oh, I thought you meant I had it now.
Oh, look at this blue. Look at this one.
Oh yeah, that's a
He's a fighter.
yeah, that's a nice blue. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice one.
This is one of these. Don't stick it in your mouth. You know, don't stick it.
Don't.
There he goes.
Don't put your hand in.
He's a self-releaser. Oh yeah. There we go. Catch a cooler full of them, we'll be a little bit better fighter.
Oh.
Jumper.
Yeah.
Jumper. I had to take that cut bait off and put on a piece of, that's a good one.
What'd you put on?
I put on a piece of mullet. I put on a whole mullet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, you got a double.
Ha-ha! It ain't no wonder they were fighting.
Oh, damn. one on one.
Yeah. Now we're fishing.
You really wasn't set up for double, were you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, see, one took the front hook.
One got the back. Over there.
That's all right.
Yeah. Where you can't grab them at?
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess it's time.
Alright guys, I want to take just a break from the show and show you the kind of rig and the equipment we were using on this particular show. I wanted to try to do this out in the boat, but with the wave action and the small boat and everything, I just couldn't get the right setup, so I decided to wait till I got on dry land. But this is basically the rod that we're using right here. Now this is a Quantum reel. Okay, it's one of Quantum's bigger reels. It's the Optics 80, and I have it spooled with 60-pound test cigar line. Now the reason for that being is because where we're fishing there's a lot of rocks and a lot of structure and stuff around the jetties, but most of all your ocean fish are toothy guys, okay, and they'll cut line in a heartbeat. So I really think, you know, if you're going to catch a lot of fish like that in the salt water, braided line or a good thick monofilament is the way to go. Even though we weren't, you know, fishing out in the blue water for the larger fish, that don't mean we couldn't catch a real good large fish where we were. As a matter of fact, we had to hook up on several fish that we just couldn't hold on. Now, this is an Eagle Claw heavy action rod, okay? Is a little bit too much rod for the particular conditions we were fishing in? I don't think so, because should we have got a 30-40 pound fish, would have been able to hold him and control him really good with this rod. It's important to remember, saltwater fish, unlike freshwater fish, are so much more powerful. And you need to have the right equipment to control them, because you get a light action rod and you get a big fish on it, or even a medium action rod and you get a big fish on it, you're going to have trouble controlling that fish. Trust me, I know, because I've been there and done it, and not had the proper equipment and gone out undergunned, so to speak, with the wrong type equipment and been able to catch fish, but it was a whole lot harder to do. Now, I want to show you the rig that we use. This is kind of like my own rig that I figured out myself over several years of fishing at Merle's Inlet and fishing on salt water for toothy critters like bluefish and things like that, you know, big sea trout. You know, like I say, you got to have the line, or you can use steel line, because if you don't, they're going to cut the line. You know, 12-pound test line just isn't going to work. All right, we start out with our weight, and this right here is a 3.5 ounce barrel sinker. Okay, we're casting out behind the boat, so, and because of that, we didn't need to use a flat sinker. We just wanted these to get out and to go right down and lay on the bottom. Then we come up and we tie on a 60-pound test swivel. And after we tie that swivel on there, we come out with 18 inches roughly of leader. That can be your own discretion. And then we have another swivel. And the reason that I have two swivels on there is because when we're using the mullet, is what we were using for bait, and menhaden, what happens is the way we rig them, and in the current there's a lot of twist, and a lot of the fish is constantly spinning round and round, which helps attract the other fish. But by doing that, it can cause a lot of line twist, and we're trying to stay away from that. Okay, from there I have some pre-tied rigs that I made, and I'll explain to you here in just a little bit why I made these rigs like this. But this here is actually tied on the 60-pound test leader. All right, from our first swivel, our second swivel, it comes down here to about 16 inches of line, and I have my hook tied on right there. Okay, I tie my first hook on, and then depending on the size bait I'm using, I will tie another hook on, which I call a snubber hook, a trailer hook, on the very back. And the reason I do that is because this hook right here is the hook I want on the back. Now, it doesn't have to be a treble hook. You can use just another one of these single hooks just like that if you wanted to. This length right here is going to depend on how big and how long the bait is you're using. But I'll take this end right here, and this will go through the eye socket or up through the lips on that first hook. And this will come out and go on the tail. Most of the time, a bluefish, especially fishing in the current conditions, will come up from behind like this, and he will grab the bait and just snap it off right at the hook and right at the head. If you've noticed, if you ever bluefished in current conditions or anything like that, what happens is that the bluefish will come up, and all you'll have when you get that strike, they are so fast that they will just have just the head left on your hook. And they're notorious for that. And I got tired of doing that, so we tied on a snubber hook on the end right here. And if you look at that line, I don't know if the camera can show you that very well. If you look at that line, you can see where them teeth have frayed that line. That'll have to get changed next time I go out and fish for blues or anything like that. So you can see where that line has been frayed and damaged. Now, like I was saying, we were fishing probably about I'd say a 12, 15 knot outgoing tide. I'll fish, if I'm going to fish for blues, if I can get set up in a place where you've got the water pulling out into the ocean, I'll fish the outgoing tide and the incoming tide, especially about an hour or so after it's already started to move. Seems like that's when the fish are more active. Seems like that's when they come in and they try to get the bait, because you've got, with the outgoing tide, you've got all the bait that's leaving from all the rice fields and all the structure and every place they've been hiding during high tide. Well, now they're starting to move out, and these fish are moving in to take advantage of that. So, you know, after a year or so of doing this and getting bluefish and catching blues and losing them, because they've using that one hook, and they would every time just snap the bottom of the bait off. So I started threading the line through and coming out the tail with a threader and tying a hook on and doing that. And then the second year I made up these rigs here, and they're a lot easier to use. You don't have to use a threader and go through the fish. So that's just a good trick to use, especially for bluefish. You know, we caught a lot of reds and we caught a lot of black drum and things like that day. So that's just a really good technique for you to use, especially for these toothy critters. And if you're out there and you're getting a lot of bluefish hitting your bait and snapping it off, what you need to do is just tie you up a rig like that with 2 hooks on there, so that way you can go ahead and you can really put a stop to what they're doing. And another rod we were using is I'm using a Penn level wind reel, and it's on the same type Eagle Claw heavy action rod, and them work good. Reel preference is really what you like, okay? Either you can use bait casters or you can use open face. It doesn't really matter. It's your own preference. It's what you can cast that works good for you. Just remember, you need to use at least, I feel, at least 50-pound test line fishing for these big toothy guys, if not more. So your reel has got to be able to hold that diameter line, and you've got to be able to put a lot of line on there, because we had fish hit our bait and start running that a couple of them, we couldn't even slow them down. So, you know, your chances of catching a big shark or a tarpon or a really big red bull drum, you know, is very likely fishing in them conditions. Just take, yeah, just, there you go, put the single hook right through the mouth and push it through that cartilage, and put the treble hook right through the tail, just like so. And if you're using that 60-pound test line, that's going to keep them bluefish from biting through that line. This line's getting pretty well frayed. It's almost, we might have to end up changing this back line on here, because it's getting chewed up on here. We'll give it a few more fish, see what happens. We're going to have to change it.
Well, this might be what they're going to use.
Yep. There he is. I don't think it's a double, but we'll take singles as long as they keep on biting.
Oh yeah. That double just made it that much.
That double just tires you out. That's all. Look at that.
Made it that much more interesting.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Watch it, Larry. Watch it.
That could be that one.
We got probably 3 or 4 in there that size now. Come on, hold still. Come on. Man, you don't want to quit. Look at this guy. Good gosh. Hold still. You got to be careful because of them hooks. I got you. Sorry about that.
Now we'll just tie this directly in the line, right?
Just tie that right to your line or your leader. Come on.
Put a damn swivel on.
I don't.
You don't?
No, just put, you can if you want to. You know, well, I would where you got thinner line. I don't on mine, because I've got 25-pound, 30-pound test line, and it will hold. I would put a swivel on there, okay? I really would. Yep. All about what, pound, 2 pounds.
Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe to YouTube Carolina Outdoor Adventures TV for all things hunting, fishing, and exciting outdoor videos.